Yeah, so apparently as a state, if you don't actively try and, try to pretty much stop Israel boycotts in your states, you won't get disaster funding from the federal government. That's treason, no? We have to support a foreign nation for us to receive local aid? That's treason, no? Or am I tripping? Damn, Blitzarian said fuck Trump and fuck Israel. It's never been fuck Israel, but it's starting to be. If shit like this keeps happening, it's gonna start being fuck Israel as a whole. The fuck you mean? Like, we can't talk shit about you? What you mean? We can't boycott you and our states won't receive funding? Alright. They too small. Yeah, here we go. The Trump administration is now withholding disaster relief funds from American states that boycott Israel. Nigga says, so remember to pledge your allegiance to Israel before your house is destroyed by a fire or a hurricane. Oh my God. That's gonna make people dislike it more. Or am I tripping? Yo, we got 3 viewers in here, guys. I'm gonna need y'all to leave a comment, man. Let's talk in the chat. I kind of want to see if they got videos on this for something me to look over. Oh, for real? Under public pressure, they just reversed. Is that true? 40 minutes ago. Oh, it's still the same thing. Yeah, no, man. So pretty much what I was saying before. What the fuck? I thought that was treason.
Funding for state cities that boycott Israel. Folks, it's one thing to deny funding for education if they use it for transgender brainwashing, or to withhold funding.
What did he say? You don't play no games. This nigga Alex Jones don't play no games. VOG.
This just broke Trump admin to withhold disaster.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to put the volume up.
For state cities that boycott Israel. Folks, it's one thing to deny funding for education if they use it for transgender brainwashing, or to withhold funding, from the medical system if they refuse to give surgeries to people that haven't taken shots, or fire nurses and doctors. But to say we're not going to give you disaster funding for a hurricane or tornadoes or a flood or an earthquake or wildfires, which then hurts everybody in the state because those state leaders boycott Israel, this is one of the most outrageous things
ever.
And I saw this break an hour ago, but I wanted to read the details. I've been doing that during the breaks. That I've heard. I mean, they're already going to blame Trump when there's hurricanes, saying he didn't do it right. I told you that. They're already doing it. They say, he didn't have the alert systems for Texas, which wasn't true. They did put out the emergency alerts with the flooding outside Austin, the hill country. This is insane.
Yep.
And I just call balls and strikes. The condition applies to at least $1.9 billion that states rely on to recover search and rescue equipment, emergency manager salaries, and backup power systems, among other expenses. The Trump administration said states and cities will not receive funding to prepare for natural disasters if they choose to boycott Israel companies, according to the agency statement. States must certify that they will not cut off commercial relations, specifically with Israel companies, to receive the money from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, according to the agency's terms of guarantees. Now, this is what the governor of Florida, who I like overall, is doing, what the governor of Texas is doing. San Marcos, a town south of Austin, big town.
I might have to refresh my computer, like, after the stream. It should get me pissed off. All day it's been moving kind of weird.
Certify that they will not cut off commercial relations, specifically with Israel companies. See, emergency manager salaries and backup power systems, among other expenses. The Trump administration said states and cities will not receive funding to prepare for natural disasters if they choose to boycott Israel companies, according to the...
That's treason, no? Or what? The Trump administration states that cities and states will not receive funding to prepare for natural disasters if they choose to boycott Israel companies. Bro, what? No.
The agency statement. States must certify that they will not cut off commercial relations, specifically with Israel companies, to receive the money from the Federal Emergency Management Agency according to the agency's terms of guarantees. Now, this is what the governor of Florida, who I like overall, is doing, what the governor of Texas is doing. San Marcos, a town south of Austin, big town, small city. They were talking about a resolution calling it genocide in Gaza. So they said, well, we're just going to pull state funding anyway from San Marcos. And so there's this loyalty pledge. So I didn't want to go back into the Israel stuff, but it's just continual. This is the Jerusalem Post. Here's Reuters. U.S. links $1.9 billion in state disaster funds to Israel boycott stance. So for a foreign government, if people in our country and jurisdictions do things they don't like, now if there's a flood, well, you don't get anybody to come save the kids. FEMA funding will not be granted to pro-BDS areas. And now we had a trade deal with Canada. It was a good deal Trump did. That's going to be killed because they're going to, they have a resolution saying what's happening in Gaza is wrong and recognizing.
Yeah, from what I understand, I think it's Canada and France and UK and a few other countries. They said, okay, well, scratch the UK first, but all the other countries I mentioned, they say they're gonna recognize Palestine as a nation state, and that pissed off Israel. And UK said that they're gonna do it unless, Israel stops this war, because they don't want to be tied to an ally that's committing a genocide.
The Palestinian state. I'm going to say this again to Israel, and this is what Count Dankula said last hour. He thinks they're like secret Hitlers or something, because you couldn't come up with a plan to turn the world more against Israel. Count Dankula, what do you make of this?
I think that's hilarious, though, the fact that these people pay so much money in taxes for protection from the government, so that if a hurricane or a flood or any horrible catastrophe happens, the government has their back. But then even though
So I think I have a solution for this, man. We need a more American companies, but then like all these American companies just be getting bought out and invested by some Israeli owned company or whatever. Like, it's insane. Like, damn, man. Every time I want to talk about a conspiracy, it always leads back to
they've paid their taxes for this very service. The government can say, actually, you have the wrong opinion, so you're not getting any of that stuff. You and your family can just get washed down the river. Right? That's disgusting.
Then give us our money back.
That is vile. Basically, you're getting all that done to you because you have the wrong opinions. But in regards to Israel and stuff like that as well, it's just a government doing a government things. Basically, Israel is a very honest government. It's just doing exactly what it wants to do. Right, the American government, especially the deep state, the British government wishes it could do that stuff. Israel, I just see it as one of the most honest governments in the world. Screw you, we're going to do whatever the hell we want.
Yo, these people think money is everything, bro. Why is Big Pharma trending? What's going on with Big Pharma, huh?
That has the opposite intended effect. It works that well that I'm starting to think it's on purpose. Like, have you ever heard the theory that a lot of these like Jews that are in these positions that are doing all this stuff aren't actually Jews but are raging anti-Semites because they're so good at generating anti-Semitism? Like, that's something that I'm starting to believe, because all this stuff is having the opposite effect. And it's just, as soon as laws come in where you're not allowed to question something, like especially towards any government policy or anything the government's doing, that's just confirmation that they know what they're doing is bad. They know for a fact it's bad. Well, they just don't want you asking about it, and they don't want you talking about it.
Well, you're saying stuff so powerful, I don't want to interrupt you, but I got to just back you up. I know you do a lot of historical videos with your Mad Lad videos that are so popular, billions of views total. But Dankula, were you begging the question, or do you know what you just said is true? In Nazi Germany, it was Jewish groups worked with Hitler at first to ship them to Palestine, but they had to give all their money to Madeleine Albright's dad was the head guy. Hitler later double-crossed him. He had to run to Serbia. Low level was Soros, in Eastern Europe, is what they called a bloodhound, finding Jews that would trust him so he could ferret out where they were. Netanyahu needs to stay in power by keeping this war going. He even admits that. Did you know that Israel, the Levant affair, and a bunch of other things, this is mainline Israeli Haaretz news, in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, did hundreds of bombings in Spain, Portugal, areas of Europe, Iraq, Syria, of Jewish synagogues to drive Jews out of those countries and into Israel. So yes, that is exactly what the top of that particular mafia does.
What the fuck? That's diabolical. I mean, I did see a video of Kissinger admitting to this shit in terms of like, he sold Jews to Hitler. Like, not sold them, but he sold them out. Like, he helped round them up. They even asked him, man, if he felt a way about it. Like, you don't feel any type of way about it?
Is it?
I forgot what he said though.
Was it difficult?
Not at all. Not at all. It created no problem at all.
No feeling of guilt?
No. Whether I was there or not, I was only a spectator. The property was being taken away.
You just heard him. What was his reaction? Nah, I don't feel any guilty when I'm going through it. The guy was Jewish, helping a Nazi, and you have the quote by this guy who was the leader of the Nazi group. At this point, you should know who I'm talking about. He who owns the youth gains the future. Is he inspired by that guy's vision to own the youth? Why else would you target so many universities?
He goes out and stirs up stuff because then when Israel gets attacked, worldwide Jewry, who is on average a part of that, will then put all their money and energy into backing the very group. And you've got Steve Pachenik, who's Jewish, whose family.
Let me back out of his live so I won't get hit with no copyright or something. I don't know. I don't even think YouTube likes Alex Jones too much. They'll probably just like ban my shit. We got 4 people in the chat.